Welcome back. So I think we finished chapter 2. The first two sections we can do the interactive lessons, and the remainder are part of the professional or paid version. We're going to continue now with chapter 3, conditionals and control of flow. And what I'm going to do is, I think the best thing here is just to copy all of this into Word and take a closer look. It doesn't let me right click and copy. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to press Control C on my keyboard, come to Word and do Control V, and that's still not what I wanted, but I think I can make do with it. I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. So let's go through this. Now, we have the definition of a function here, and down here we're using that function. Okay, so you can think of this as the name of, a person who does a job, like a doctor or a waiter. This is the definition, and here you're calling him, "Oh, doctor." And what does the doctor do? Well, that's the definition of a doctor. So I don't want you to worry too much about that for now. I just wanted to explain that to you so we can remove that. We don't have to worry too much in this assignment about function calls. And there's even a function call there as well. So we're removing it because we want to keep this very simple. So first two lines here, we're on familiar ground. We're just printing something out to the console. You've just entered the clinic. Do you take the door on the left or do you take the door on the right? And well, we're asking the user. So prompt the user for that information. So query him with the input function, raw input or just input. And you'll notice right after that, lower. Okay, if you remember from the previous chapter, dot lower is a text method, and whatever the user inputs is going to be turned into lowercase letters and then saved in a variable answer. Okay, so that's quite a bit. So let's go through it again. So we're going to prompt the user for information. Are you going to enter on the left or the right, and then press the enter key? It's going to, regardless of what he enters, that's going to be converted to lowercase, and then that result is going to be stored in a variable called answer. Now, the next part is the if then else clause, and I'm telling you the easiest way to do this is just read it as simple English. So let's go through this together. If some condition is true, okay, the condition that you see right there, well, do the following. What are you going to do? You're going to print something. Otherwise, this elif here means else if. Otherwise, well, you're going to do something else. Okay, so let's read through it and see if we understand what is happening, or let's run through it now. So we're going to click run. You've just entered the clinic. Do you take the door on the left or on the right? Type left or right. So I'm going to type, well, you have to click on the console first. So let's type left, and even before we press enter, take a look here. Okay, so if the answer is left or the answer is L, then do the following. This is the verbal abuse room. Okay, very nice. Well, let's see if we get that. Let's press enter. Oops, it timed out. I'm going to run it again. Or if I want, I can just do a reset by clicking that button. So let's do a full reset on this. That allows you to do the activity over again. And run. We've just entered the clinic. Do you enter using the left door or the right? Click on the console. So we're going to type left, press enter. This is the verbal abuse room. Okay, well, let's run it again. And actually, we can run it as many times as we want because we have the function call here. Okay, but we'll worry about how that works later. This time, let's type write. And we press enter. Of course, this is the argument room. I've told you that already, and if you examine your code here, you have if the answer is left, okay, you say this is the verbal abuse room. Else if the answer is right, okay, you say this is the argument room. And then you have this last part here tacked on to the very end, okay? So if the if part doesn't evaluate to true, the else if part doesn't evaluate to true, then this last little hanging part is the catch-all, okay? So anything else you write, this is the message you're going to get. You didn't pick left or right. Well, let's try this again. So I'm going to click run. And I'm going to, this time, am I going to enter through the left or right? I'm going to type upstairs. Okay, and it complains you didn't pick left or right. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. And in the next assignment, we're looking at different comparisons. Okay, so we're looking at comparing two things, if they're equal, if they're not equal, and so on. So let's do the first one. Okay, set this to true if 17 is less than 328. Well, that is obviously true. Let's keep going. We'll read the next one. Okay, 100 is equal to 2 times 50. So this might be a little bit small for you to read on the screen. So let me do a copy and paste, Control C, and we'll paste that into Word or WordPad. And we'll zoom in again. Okay, so here's the test. We have that double equal sign, so that's a test. Is 100 equal to 2 times 50, true or false? And I think we can safely conclude that that is indeed true. Okay, we'll go on to the next example. Set this to true or false. Now this is interesting. So let me copy this one, Control C. And we'll look at it. Maybe it's better to look at it in Notepad. So let me open up my Notepad. We'll paste that in. Now, this is a funny symbol, less than or equal to. It might take you a minute or two to find that symbol on your keyboard. I have a French keyboard here, and I find that it is close to the lower right side of the keyboard. So take a minute to find it. So this is asking, is 19 less than or equal to 19? Well, for it to be less than, it has to be 18, 17, 16. And for it to be equal, well, it has to be the same number. So we can conclude that this is indeed true as well. Okay, so I'm going to enter true for the third one. Okay, and let's look at the fourth one. So I'm going to copy and paste that, and we'll determine once again whether that is true or false. Okay, so this is greater than or equal to. So minus 22 is a smaller number than minus 18. So if you have minus 18 and you take away 4, you have minus 22. So is minus 22 greater than or equal to? And I'm pretty sure that is false. So we're going to enter false this time. And I just wanted to indicate to you that if it doesn't light up blue, the true or false, it might be because you left out the capital letter. So Boolean values need to start with a capital letter. Let's look at the last one. Now that has a really interesting operator. Okay, so we'll do a copy and paste. So we saw equal to, and we saw greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. This here, you have an exclamation mark and an equal sign. That means not equal to. So on the left side we have 99. On the right side we have 99. Well, 99 and 99 are the same, and this states not equal to. Well, that can't be the case. So this statement that we see here is false. 99 equals 99, and this operator is not equal to. So let's put false in the last one and run it quickly to see if it works. And yes, the yellow button is enabled, so we did it correctly. So we'll go through the operators on the left-hand side. So we're doing a test. We're doing a comparison. Equal, when two things are equal, you use the double equal sign. Let me zoom in a bit so we can see it. Not equal, you put an exclamation mark by the equal. Less than. Okay, now the way I remember, because this arrow can point left or right, okay, the way I remember that this is less than is you have a point on the left side, on the right side you have 2 points pointing the other way. So this is less than, and then less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to, and we have other comparison operators, but those are the numeric ones when you are in fact just comparing numbers.